gentlemen, welcome back to Tech Showdown. I'm not drunk on the floor rolling around. This is my co-host Teddy, and today we're going to be doing our 980 Ti Showdown. So it's going to be the G1 Gaming 980 Ti from Gigabyte going up against the Gaming 6G 980 Ti from MSI. And both of these cards are really solid. But quickly, before we jump into this showdown, I want to ask you guys, who are your top 3 YouTubers that you think deserve like more subscribers, or channels that you would like to see grow more, or ones that you think don't get as much attention as they should? Now for me, I'd say Jerry Neutron. I'll leave the links to my right here. He makes excellent videos. Another small tech YouTuber like me, does just a really good job, and I really like his channel, so definitely go over and subscribe to him. If you like a vlog channel, then Ryan from Vlog After College, I believe it's called, he makes really good vlog videos. I just really like the way they're put together. They have a really nice feel to them. It's just a really solid channel. He definitely deserves more subs with the content he puts up. And sort of a different type, kind of history type channel is The Great War, which they go over week by week, World War I, and that's just an absolutely awesome channel. Indy's a great host. Just everything about it is great, and that channel needs more subs as well, because I think they're just over 100,000, maybe a bit more than 100,000 now, but for such an awesome channel, they need much more than that. So I'll leave all the links to those channels in the description down below as well if you want to check them out, and I highly recommend it. But let's get on with it then. So, as you may know already, the 980 Ti features a 28nm GM200-310 Maxwell GPU, so basically a slightly nerfed version of what you get in the Titan X. That means you get 2,816 CUDA cores opposed to the 3,072 you get on the Titan X. And memory-wise, you're seeing 6GB of GDDR5 memory on a 384-bit bus. And these are at varying speeds. So the WindForce one we have here, the G1 Gaming, this is with the reference memory speed of 7,010 MHz. However, on the MSI, you're seeing 7,100 on its OC mode. So I always run these cards, I don't overclock them, but I set them to their highest factory setting. You know, if they come out with like a gaming mode, an OC mode or whatever, I always set them to the highest one. So that was OC mode on this MSI, and that's at 7,100 MHz. So a little bit of a bump up there. Now they also have different speeds on the GPU, so as I just said, this was on the OC mode, the MSI, and it went up to 1,391 MHz, which is pretty hauling for an out-of-the-box overclock, so that was quite good. The Gigabyte still did good, but not as good, coming in at 1,316 MHz. So that was on its highest setting as well. So bit of a variance there in the clock speeds, both on the GPU and on the memory. TDP wise, both just coming with 250 watt TDP, same as the Titan X, and size wise, this Gigabyte is coming in at 42mm high, 309mm long, so this is a long card. You guys with the smaller mid tower have to watch out, and 135mm wide. The MSI, on the other hand, is 40mm tall, so just a little bit shorter. It's much shorter in length, 269mm, so it's quite a bit shorter, but it is a bit fatter, coming in at 140mm wide, but usually that won't cause you any problems. Now let's talk about the coolers then. So the MSI has the Twin Frozer 5 cooler, has their new fan design, which is, you know, it works pretty good. A ton of big heat pipes out the top there. They sort of wrap around rather than running straight down the cooler like a lot of them do nowadays. Aluminium heat sinks, really big wide ones there, so that's really good too. Both of these cards they have the auto fan stop, which means when the GPU is below a certain temperature, the fans will not even be on, so it'll just sit there like that. And the MSI logo over here does light up, and you can set it to different modes like breathing mode or whatever. And it comes with a nice back plate with a dragon on it and some holes in the back there. So this is a really good cooler, really solid, but the G1 Gaming is just as solid. This is an absolutely excellent cooler. So this is the WindForce cooler that's been around forever, but they have made quite a few improvements. Improved fan design on this, just like the MSI. Obviously it's a dual fan versus a triple fan design. This card is a lot longer, big hot copper heat pipes, a big copper plate down there as well. You can see through the heatsink. Has their triangle cool technology, which just directs the airflow a bit more efficiently. And overall, this is just an excellent cooler as well. Nice big backplate you see there too, looking really good. And on the side here, this Windforce logo does light up. You can change the color of that too. And it has this silent and stop, which is those lights come on when the fans are not turning to let you know. So both of these coolers, very, very good, very solid. I like both of them and they do a really, really good job. Now, going into benchmarks then. Alright, carry on with that then. So, as I said before, these are obviously the same GPU in these cards, but there is quite a big difference in the speed. So the MSI coming in at quite the higher GPU speed and a slightly bumped up memory speed. So let's jump to the benchmarks then and see how they do. And we're back. So you can see that the MSI comes out on top in quite a few of the benchmarks. I don't know why the Heaven one, it was just miles ahead. It was almost, you know, it was like 10 frames higher. Even more than that. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But in the other ones you see, there's only about, in the gaming ones especially, which is the ones you really need to be paying attention to, it's about, you know, just a few frames higher, 3, 4, 5, all through the resolutions. It kind of varies. So there's not really that much difference in it. That is, as I said before, due to the clock speeds, which is pretty normal. So yeah, it's probably nothing you would really notice if you were gaming with these. So speed-wise, I'd say they do about, you know, exactly the same. And whenever I do these ones, the benchmarks are just there to show you guys kind of like what they do anyways. However, let's move on to temperatures. Now this is where it counts. This is where a lot of people will be looking, because a lot of people buying 980 Ti's are going to be wanting to overclock them. So temperature-wise, it was quite interesting. So in the Unigine Valley benchmark, that's on the Extreme HD preset, the Gigabyte G1 Gaming went up to 66 degrees Celsius, and that was at 47% fan speed. Now by comparison, the MSI Gaming 6G went up to 74 degrees Celsius at 63% fan speed. So quite the big jump up there, you know, more fan speed and a higher temperature on the side of the MSI. So this is just a straight out win for the G1 Gaming, I have to say. Just temperature wise it did much, much better, and it clearly beats the MSI. The one thing I will say, the one but, is that this G1 Gaming had quite a bit more coil whine than the MSI card, a noticeable amount. Now this could just be the one I have. However, it may be a theme with all of them, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, temperature-wise, much, much lower, and overclockers, you know, that's what they're going to be paying attention to. So the G1 Gaming wins in temperatures by quite a bit, almost, yeah, like 8 degrees. It's pretty solid win there for the G1 Gaming. What about temperatures aren't everything? What about noise? So as you just saw, you saw the different fan speeds there, so that'll give you an indication of noise, and as I said about the coil one. But yeah, I'll let you guys judge for yourself. So at idle, they make no noise. The fans are off, you know, no noise at all. However, on load, and this was during the Unigine Valley Extreme HD, there was a little bit of a difference there, but I'll let you guys judge for yourself. So up first, this is the G1 Gaming during that Unigine Valley Extreme HD benchmark. And here is the MSI Gaming 6G in the exact same benchmark. So a bit of a difference there, obviously quite a bit lower fan speed on the side of MSI, on the side of Gigabyte I should say, however you do get the clear one. But I would give it, I'd probably still give this win to the Gigabyte card. Mainly because, yeah, I just think of it as the slightly quieter card. However, there's not a huge amount in it. Which brings us now to the conclusion of these two cards. Which one do I recommend more? Well, when we go back to performance, to say that it is a win for the MSI in terms of performance. It does do a little bit better. That is due to the clock speeds. If you're overclocking, then you don't really need to worry about that. Temperature-wise, though, the G1 Gaming just runs away with it. Yes, there was McCoy one, but we talked about that. But I just think of it as the cooler running card and also the least noisy card out of the two. So I'm going to have to give it to the G1 Gaming for this showdown. However, I'm going to also say that this is only by a tiny amount, like a very small victory. So honestly, if I was a person in the market for a 980 Ti now, and there was quite a big difference in price between these two cards, say if you were thinking about getting the MSI here, and the MSI card was say $50 cheaper than this G1 Gaming, I don't know what it's going to be like where you live. However, in that example, just go for the MSI. However, if these cards are both exactly the same price, then I would go for the G1 Gaming. I just see it as the ever so slightly better graphics card. And just talking about these 980 Ti's while we're on the topic, unrelated to the showdown, I was using these to game at 4K in GTA, and they were just superb. So I think right now, if you're looking to do 4K gaming, a single 980 Ti will almost be able to get you there. Like, you won't be able to run all your mega high-end games maybe completely maxed out, but I had GTA on, very high settings on a lot of the things, and these 980 Ti's were handling it just fine, no stuttering, everything over 60 frames I believe, and they just did an absolutely phenomenal job. So 4K gaming on a single graphics card isn't as far away as you guys might think it might be. Definitely the next generation of NVIDIA graphics cards will be there for sure. But yeah, these 980 Ti's even by themselves do a really solid job at 4K gaming. And that's going to round out this video. So please leave a like if you liked this video, and subscribe to my channel, Tech Showdown, if you haven't already. It really helps me out. I try and make these videos for you guys as often as I can. I've had a few difficulties lately, but we're getting back out there. For our next videos, we're going to have a bit of a change. I mean, we've been doing a lot of high-end stuff, which is great. A lot of people like it. It's always quite interesting and exciting. However, I want to go down to what a lot of you guys probably can afford a lot more, or might be more interesting to you. So we'll be going down to more the sort of mid-level, maybe entry-level type graphics cards, as I've seen quite a few of you asking for me to kind of take a step back and go down to some more cards that everybody can afford, rather than these super expensive, 980 Ti's and stuff. So that's where the channel will be going for the next week or two. I think I'm going to dive down, as well as doing other things like normal. But I think that's where I want to head the channel just for a little while, and then we'll come back up and do some more high-end stuff like always. Now, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.